Hey everyone, Corbin Hostler back this week, and this week we have one of the more unique modern decks I have ever seen, but it seems like it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'll start with the card that is basically the sweetest part of this entire deck, the reason why we're playing it. This list 5-0'd a competitive modern league, so it's got something going for it here. It looks crazy, but Doubling Season. 5-mana enchantment. If you get tokens, you get double the tokens. If you get counters on one of your permanents, you get double the counters. So what this means is that every single planeswalker you play comes into play with double the loyalty counters on it. So the new hotness in Modern, Nahiri the Harbinger, originally starts with 4 loyalty. If we have a Doubling Season out, she comes into play with 8 loyalty. Conveniently, exactly enough to ultimate our Nahiri and go get the Emrakul out of the deck to attack with. That seems pretty good. Your Nissa makes 2 plant tokens. Your Gideon makes 2 guys. Your Ralzeric gets to come into play and immediately ultimate, allowing you to take extra turns. Xenagos can ultimate, which is insane. Or I guess if you need, you get double the tokens. Ralzeric, we hit on Jay's Architect of Thought, comes into play, immediately ultimates. Chandra Flamecrawler can just wipe the board. Or, discard a bunch of cards. It's not a bad one. Up there, Elspeth Sun's Champion comes into play, immediately ultimates. Gideon Jura comes into play with a ton of loyalty. He's going to soak up a lot of damage for the team. So, this is the list, okay? It's very basic and simple in what it wants to do. We want to have a Doubling Season, and we want to play Planeswalkers. We have a bunch of Mana Dorks to do that. We have 4 Arbor Elf, 4 Birds of Paradise, 4 Noble Hierarch, 2 Sylvan Caryatid. 14 Mana Dorks, so that as early as possible, we can, hopefully you go like Mana Dork, turn 2, 2 Mana Dorks, turn 3, have 6 mana, or just Mana Dork, 3rd land, 5 mana, Doubling Season, turn 4, Nahiri, win the game. Well, at least attack with an Emrakul. Oath of Nissa, just like it does in Standard, finds all of these pieces. You can get it finds the Doubling Seasons in the deck. It finds your Planeswalkers you need. It hits a land when you need to hit a land. And it allows us to use any type of mana to cast our Planeswalkers, allowing us to very easily cast all of these different, because obviously we have blue, red, green, white. We run in the gamut here, 4 colors. And it looks a little awkward, but, with the Birds of Paradise, the Noble Hierarchs, the Caryatids, and the Oath of Nissas, it's something we're going to be able to do. The final piece is a couple Blood Moons, because turn 2 Blood Moon's very good, and our deck runs so many Mana Dorks that we can do that. Looking over here at the sideboard, or I'm sorry, at the mana base, fetch lands, shock lands, Nykthos, because we have all these Mana Dorks and these Oaths and Nissas. Makes a lot of mana in itself. Couple sweet ones, Westvale Abbey. This is a pretty good one. This allows your Mana Dorks to become Ormondal, Profane Prince, and attack somebody for quite a bit of damage. Alchemist Refuge. This is the one addition I actually made to the deck over the second Gavany Township, because we're going to have a bunch of mana. We may as well try to cast a Doubling Season at the end of someone's turn if we're at that point of the game. It seems like the opportunity cost there is worth at least testing out over the second Gavany. Moving on to the sideboard. Some pretty basic stuff as usual. We've got the 4 Ley Lines, 4 Stony Silences, 2 Rest in Peace, the 2 Blood Moons to fill that out when you're against Tron. Worship, this is very good against decks that are going to not be able to kill your creatures, so combo decks that are going to have a more difficult time doing that. So this could be pretty good. Merfolk is one that doesn't have a great job getting rid of the Mana Dorks, things like that. And then the Engineer Explosive is just kind of to clean up. So this is the deck. It's a crazy deck. I'm very excited that it 5-0'd a day, or 5-0'd a league, and that we get to play it now. So I'm pumped for this. Doubling Super Friends, whatever you want to call it, Modern Doubling Season, Modern Super Friends, Modern Moonwalkers, whatever you want to call it. This deck is sweet, so here we go.